What's up, guys? It's your boy, Barca Boy 103. Today we're going to be reacting to the Barcelona news over the past few days. We do have some big topics to discuss. Firstly, the official announcement of Marcus Rashford has been made, doing absolute numbers and views on social media. We'll talk about that, some of Laporta's words and Rashford's words as well. Big updates on players staying as well. Both Koundé and Frenkie de Jong are in advanced negotiations to renew their contract at Barcelona, and the club are looking to renew both of them during this summer transfer window. But of course, now with the signing of Rashford and the signing of a fullback hoping to be made in the future, club are now focusing on sales. Romeu and Pena, Pau Víctor to Braga, very close. He's basically sold at this point. That's already the next exit confirmed. We'll talk about the details on that, and of course on the future of Ter Stegen as well. That has been throwing a lot of spanners in the work. And finally, big update on our Asia tour. Of course, we were supposed to fly out 2 days ago to Japan, but things got really complicated in terms of the financial package and payments being made. We have an update on that, the future of the Asia tour, and what's going to be happening with this match against Vissel Kobe. We have all the updates in this video. But before we get into it, make sure you guys smash the like button down below, and let's try and get the 200 likes on this video. It would be very much appreciated. And also, if you are new, make sure you subscribe down below if you haven't already, and let's get into it. Let's start off with the transfer news over the past few days. The first piece of news, of course, is the official signing of Marcus Rashford, which was made official last Wednesday. And of course, the hype has been quite astounding and comes to my surprise as well. Shirt numbers also confirmed. He will be wearing the number 14. Of course, last season occupied by Pablo Torres. Season before that, João Felix. Before that, Coutinho. So the streak is not the best, and hopefully he can come there and break it, which is of course an iconic number at Barcelona. Again, all the information is confirmed. 30 million buy option, wage coverage is quite the majority. He has taken a bit of a cut from United, and we'll wait and see how things do turn out. His presser was quite strong as well, talking about his desire to come to Barcelona since January and how he's fully focused and hoping to make his move permanent and all that. But a sign that Joan has confirmed that he wanted the most. He apparently wanted Rashford ahead of Diaz and Nico Williams, which of course I don't believe whatsoever he's gonna say who he wanted because we signed him. But I think he was of course definitely top 3 option. We got there in the end, and hopefully now he goes out on the pitch and cooks for Barcelona. Now, following the signing of Marcus Rashford, the club's now main objective in the market is to reinforce the fullback position. The only one we have been linked with recently is Denzel Dumfries. Fabrizio Romano has come out saying that Barcelona have not made any proposal for Denzel Dumfries despite his release clause still being available. He has a release clause 25 million euros available until July 31st. Apparently mid-July, and then all of a sudden now it's July 31st. But Koundé and Eric Garcia is seen as perfect solutions at right back, despite Dumfries offered by his agent to Barcelona. So the opportunity was presented itself to Barcelona. We did not end up approaching it in full strength. I do expect us to sign a fullback, as we desperately do need some depth there. Looking more and more likely it's going to be a left back, even though I would argue we should go for a right back instead. But looking like it's going to be more so a left back. We'll wait and see who that target will be, and if we do sign someone in the last month of the transfer window, I do think it's needed. I think Dumfries would have been an okay option, but not someone I would have down the hill for and bend over backwards and stuff like that. But the club have kind of been briefing quite a bit. They really like Koundé and Eric Garcia as their right back option, so it looks like that's going to be the case going into this season, and we'll wait and see if we do end up signing anyone at left back. But that is a position most likely that we could reinforce again if we were to make a signing for the rest of this transfer window. Let's now discuss the players that have been rumored to be leaving Barcelona over the past few days, as now that is the main priority for Barcelona. In fact, Deco will not be traveling with the team to Asia because of his focus on getting exits out the door. According to Gigantes, Pau Víctor and Romeu will not travel to Asia for the preseason tour. Both of them will stay back in Barcelona to try and resolve their futures. Very quickly on Romeu, Franco Sport came out saying that it is very likely that Romeu will not travel to Asia. It is not part of Hansi Flick's plans. His contract is due to expire in June 2026, and the ideal scenario situation will be a contract termination, with the point of discussing being the amount to be received by the player. He's on Girona's radar, but he's not a priority for them. Valencia are also interested. Romeu's priority is to stay in La Liga, and interested clubs hope that they will be able to terminate his contract so he can come for free. So that's going to be hopefully the case. The question is, of his last final year of his salary, how much are we going to give him? All of it? Half of it? None of it? Some of it? Most of it? That is a part to agree upon. That will come with time, so wait and see. But an exit that is very advanced, and probably will be done, I would say, by the end of this weekend, is Pau Víctor. An agreement has been reached with Braga for 12 million euros plus 3 million euros in add-ons, and this broke initially from The Athletic. They confirmed that Pau Víctor had to complete a permanent transfer from Braga to Barcelona, a deal worth 12 million plus 3 million add-ons. He of course signed a 4-year contract with Barcelona. Fabrizio Romano also confirmed the news and also stated that Barcelona are also currently negotiating a buyback option to have in this deal. So Pau Víctor to Braga, very close. I expect I will make a here we go video in the next few days, definitely by the end of this weekend. Also, there have been some big question marks about the percent of a future sale. When we first got Pau Víctor last summer, apparently Girona had a 50% sell-on clause for the first year, then anytime afterwards it was 30%, so they will be receiving 30% of this transfer instead of, the 50%. There was some confusion on social media about that. So technically, for all the 12 million, we get only 8, and the rest goes to Girona. Of course, the add-ons we do receive. So that's why we're always mentioning with Pau Víctor. I told you guys in the last video that Barcelona are quoting 10 million euros for him, and I thought that was quite hefty for him, especially for what he's done for Barcelona so far. But that's probably why with that selling clause, Barcelona do want to recuperate a bit more money than expected. But expect the confirmation for this transfer in the next few days. I think Ben Jacobs also came out saying there is a full agreement. At this point, The Athletic only said that Barcelona and Braga reached an agreement, still have to do some work on personal terms. Ben Jacobs came out last night saying that personal terms are done. He'll finalize his deal this weekend, so we'll probably get here we go this weekend at some point. But with now the sale of Pau Víctor, Barcelona have done very well in terms of FFP, in terms of saving salary space. With Pau Víctor being sold, we save about 2.8 total for him. Pablo Torre about 3.4, Ansu Fati total of 8, Clement Lenglet 6.4. So total fair play margin that has been freed up is 21 million euros. Now, if you compare that to the salary of Joel Garcia and Marcus Rashford, they are of course both combined earning around 20 million gross. So that should be enough, but again, you don't want to teeter on the touch line pretty much. So we are doing pretty well, and hopefully we can get over the line and be able to register any of the players that we do want to register with no problems. Don't forget as well, renewals need to be registered. Inigo, Lamine Yamal, Rafa, other ones to come that we'll talk about later on in the video. And there could of course be another sale as well in Inaki Pena. Gabriel Sanz of Deportivo came out saying that Inaki Pena will actually travel to Asia with the squad, barring any last minute changes, such as an offer from a club that satisfies all party. This is Hansi Flick's plan, and he wants to respect the player's contract. And with the German fraud not going to be traveling to Asia, we do need a third choice goalkeeper, so he will be that one. We'll probably mainly see Szczesny and Garcia. I don't think we'll even see Inaki Pena. I think he's just going there to train and just to be respectful. I think we'll probably see Cochin get minutes ahead of Inaki Pena, which should be the case, to be honest. But we're just waiting now for a team to present an offer that Inaki Pena likes and that we like. Again, he's on the market. He knows he has to leave, and Barcelona knows that he will leave. Just now about being patient and waiting for that offer to come in. So Romeu hopefully will be done the next week or so to get a contract termination. Pau Víctor should be done this weekend. And Inaki Pena, we are just waiting for an offer to come in. Now, a player who is set to stay at Barcelona for the rest of the summer is your boy, this Joan, this fraud, this legend my ass, Marc-Andre Ter Stegen. This guy is just a terrorist for so many reasons, and we're about to dive right into it. So we of course knew over the past few days a decision was going to be made whether he was going to have his back surgery or not. If he wasn't, the club would try to sell him, offload him, blah blah. If he did, the plan was to unregister him, then worry about his future probably in January or in the summer. But again, his World Cup is dancing on a thread either way. In the end, the club were briefing the media that they would prefer for him to do his surgery. That way he's fit to, be sold, and also they don't have to worry about it for now. They can, unregister him, use 80% of his salary, whatever the case may be. Ter Stegen has gone on his own before the club, releasing an official statement on all his social media, X, Twitter, Shazam, whatever it may be, saying that he's going to undergo his surgery. I would read it, but it's just so pathetic. I don't want to read it. But I do want to read this one paragraph that he has here. After my last operation on my back, I returned to the pitch after 66 days, almost 2 months. This time, the doctor believes about 3 months will be necessary as a precaution to avoid any risk. Not only has Ter Stegen gone behind the club's back and announced officially that he'll be doing the surgery, he also released a timeline. Never in my 15 to 20 years of watching football have I seen a player announce an operation and timeline for a surgery before the club has. The club releases officially, hey guys, yeah, I'm doing the surgery, thanks for the wishes, I'll be back soon, blah blah blah. Never have I seen it beforehand. And the club were not happy with Ter Stegen. Catalonia Radio came out saying that they weren't happy whatsoever, and they're mainly unhappy about the timeline because Ter Stegen initially stated a 3-month recovery time, even though Barcelona's medical experts suggest that he will be out for 4 or 5 months, and he has no intentions of letting the club unregister him from La Liga. Of course, the rule is that you have to be minimum medically proven to be out for at least 4 months to unregister and use 80% of your salary for FFP. Ter Stegen has gone out and saying in the media that he'll only be out for 3 months, which means he's out enough time to stay at Barcelona, but also not enough for Barcelona to take advantage of his salary for other players. This is a move of a Hayawan. This is a move of a rat. This is a move of an absolute terrorist, an absolute virus that we have in our club. He is trying now to fuck us over because we, let's be honest, we're trying to fuck him over, but of course we're the club, so we get to decide. And now he's trying to, bite us back in the back. Alex Pentel from Raccoon came out saying that Ter Stegen released a statement first without Barcelona releasing it, and due to this, the club is filled with irritation. But according to Barcelona sources and medical specialists, and taking into account Ter Stegen's history of reoccurring injuries, keep in mind, Ter Stegen's had fucking injuries out the wazoo the past 5 years. Every single offseason he's doing a surgery. I've seen Neto be in goal and all these other keepers. He's not barely been fit, this twat, over the past few years. Anyways, the expected recovery time for him will be 4 or 5 months instead of the 3 months stated by the German in the statement. But here is the problem, and I want you guys to clip this because I'm about to predict the future. The fact that Ter Stegen said 3 months is gonna fuck us over, because we're gonna go to La Liga and say, hey, look, here's medical proof, evidence, facts that he will be out for at least 4 months. They're gonna go Javier Tebas, but he's in the same. He's only gonna be out for 3 months. We can't use that, because what if he's back in 3 months? We can't. He said that he's gonna be back in 3 months. We cannot give you the FFP. Sorry. Go sell players. Go, make some deals. Go do something. We can't. That is what's gonna happen now because of Ter Stegen's actions. It's detrimental to the club, and I really hope he does not play in the World Cup now. I really hope that I see Kevin Trapp, or who else is a German goalkeeper? Bernd Leno. Fucking, who else is out there? I feel like I'm missing someone so obvious, but I hope someone else is starting for Germany and not Ter Stegen at this point, because he's going to be out for the first half of the season. So unless he has an absolute crazy second half of the season, which won't be at Barcelona, because you're about to give, 4 or 5 months to Chesney and Joan Garcia with no competition whatsoever, he ain't going to the World Cup. He might go, but he might not. But probably won't start per se, and that's kind of his main objective. So I guess I'll take some of the fault for that kind of outcome. But very disgusting here by Ter Stegen to go behind the club's back and to release a statement, not only confirming his surgery but also trying to confirm a timeline as well, which is completely unacceptable. And this is a blatant way of him trying to get back at Barcelona for us saying to him, hey, we don't think you're good enough, we want to sell you, pretty much. So we'll see how things unfold, but 100% now guaranteed Ter Stegen will be here for at least the first half of the season. The question now really is, will be able to use his salary for FFP, again, unregistering him and using 80% of his salary to register other players? That is now the big question, and only time will tell at this point. Let's now discuss some contract renewal updates around the first team at Barcelona. Firstly, on the contract renewal of Jules Kounde. In the last video, I told you guys it is all but agreed, and we have more confirmation of that. Fernando Polo of Mundo Deportivo came out saying that Barcelona see Koundé's contract renewal as very close after recent talks with his agent and hope to finalize it within the current summer transfer window, provided it aligns with La Liga's financial fair play rules. So of course the plan was initially to do it after the summer, but now it's so advanced, might as well do it beforehand. Of course, music to every single Barcelona fan's ear, renewing a world-class player who's been sensational for Barcelona over the past 2 or 3 seasons at a very high level, has no rebuttals and no debates whatsoever. And of course, he is one of my favorite players. I do have a soft spot for Koundé. Been a bit of a twat for being late over the past season a few times, but I still really do rate him. He's a sign that I wanted the most that we've signed recently, and fully deserving, of course, of a renewal. The next and final contract renewal update is on the contract renewal of Frenkie de Jong. Yet again, Fernando Polo of Mundo Deportivo has come out saying that Frenkie de Jong has not yet fully severed ties with his longtime agent, Ali Dursun, so Barca currently lacks an official representative to negotiate with him. Still, both sides remain calm, confident in their stance to desire to renew his contract, which runs until June 30th, 2026 within the club. No one doubts the renewal will happen soon. So all we're waiting now is for the logistics of Frenkie de Jong sacking his current agent, Ali Dursun, most likely again appointing Fini Zahavi very close to the Barcelona board for a smooth and transitional contract renewal, which again, similar to Koundé, fully deserving for Frenkie. After Koundé, he's probably the player that I wanted the most that we've signed in recent time. Absolute world-class player on his day, been world-class that second half of the season, and hopefully he can have a better season in the upcoming seasons if he will be, of course, fully fit, ready to go from the start. An absolute cornerstone to our current project and someone that needs to be renewed, especially with only 1 year left in this deal, but everything proceeding well, full confidence on every side. Let's now discuss some of the news starting in Barcelona over the past few days. First, we do have some updates around the stadium on the return to the Spotify Camp Nou. As of right now, Ben Aïd has come out saying there is no set date to return to the Camp Nou quite yet. Even the first match in La Liga remains highly uncertain. The club will not provide specific dates from now on after, of course, their initial mistake. Again, the plan from last season was always to start the season off this season at the Camp Nou. We had a goodbye to the Montjuic and all this stuff. We might not end up being back there. So infuriating. We should have been back there back in November. It's now been almost a year and we're still not there yet. But again, as long as we're there at some point in the future, that's, you know, fully healthy and, you know, safe environment, can't complain too much. But we do know right now that our next game in a home stadium will be at the Johan Cruyff Stadium in the Joan Gamper, and it will be against Como. The club have now officially confirmed our opponents for Gamper Fest, and it will be Fabregas. Como, of course, already leaked in the media for about a month or two. We firstly got the confirmation date, which was August the 10th. Then they said it was going to be at the Camp Nou. They changed it to the Johan Cruyff Stadium, and now they have confirmed our opponent. So we'll see the return of Sergio Roberto for the first time since leaving Barcelona. I won't get that nice Camp Nou applaudance or even the Montjuic applaudance. He's getting a Johan Cruyff applaudance, which I guess he will take better than nothing. We'll of course see Fabregas return as well. So it should be a nice little day out, and we'll see how the revenue is on that day with a very, very low attendance, only 6,000 compared to the Montjuic's 40,000 compared to the Camp Nou's about what was supposed to be like 35,000. So we're taking a big hit there on revenue. But again, mainly the Camp Nou, if we're not back for the first La Liga game, just wrap it up. I'll have no expectations past that, and probably I think if we're not there, that's my prediction. If we're not in the Camp Nou September the 12th against Valencia, first home La Liga game of the season, I don't think we'll be back there next season at any point. Now, the final topic that I want to discuss for end of this video is in regards to just Barcelona being Barcelona. 1 hour after the official announcement of Marcus Rashford, we got news that our Asia tour for preseason almost bloody got cancelled. The news broke from Joan, and he came out saying that the tour to Japan is up in the air at this time. The first team tour to Japan is now confirmed. Tomorrow they will not travel to Japan. Everything's hanging by a thread. The reason for this is because the promoters for the Vissel Kobe match in Japan didn't fucking pay us. That's right, we had a deadline for them to pay us. They didn't pay us, and we said, you know what? We're not gonna go. We were supposed to leave at 11 a.m. the following day, Thursday. Of course, yesterday we didn't end up going, and the club even released an official statement after all the news broke in the media, saying that Barcelona has cancelled Sunday's match in Japan due to a serious breach of contract by the promoter. The club is now evaluating whether to continue the summer tour in South Korea, where matches against FC Seoul and Daegu FC are planned, pending certain conditions. Barcelona regrets the impact on its Japanese fan base. They'll say in the statement, like, very, very much, or many Japanese fans. So the club are saying, look, we were gonna go, they didn't pay us, so now we're not going anymore. And the actual promoter came out releasing an official statement saying that, I really don't want to read it all because it's a lot, but basically saying that, you know what, we didn't end up paying, and Laporta was 100% correct and justified to pull out of the tour. It's our mistake. We're trying our best to resolve it, and we apologize to the delay. We apologize to the fans in Japan and in Barcelona who are going to make the trip. You know, some journalists already took a flight to Japan and then they had to fly back. So, you know, they're going to have to fly back again. Little, you know, subtle hint there. So she came out saying that, yep, well, we didn't, the company, it's not her herself. She was the promoter, but the company that's supposed to give her the money that was supposed to give to Barcelona, she's confirming that, yeah, Laporta did everything correctly. They definitely should have pulled out. Who's going to play for free nowadays? So that is what happened. But then the following day, on Thursday, we're back. Joan again broke the news saying that Barcelona will now travel to Japan as planned before. The team will now travel to play the friendly match. They will go back everything to the way it was. So Sunday match being against Kobe. They were supposed to travel yesterday, but instead they're gonna travel today because the last flight to Japan, they missed it at that point or something like that. And guess who saved us? Our former sponsor, Rakuten. Koundé came out saying that Rakuten was the one that stepped up to cover the financial costs, paving the way for Barcelona to finally travel to Japan. The team is expected to depart at some point today, and the final arrangements are currently being finalized. And Carlos Monfront also confirmed that Rakuten has covered the agreed financial amounts for the friendly match against Vissel Kobe. Again, a former sponsor and also the current sponsor of Vissel Kobe. The team was scheduled to, of course, to leave between some point yesterday and today, and hopefully it will be today. And following all this, Vissel Kobe themselves released an official statement saying that currently our club is closely coordinating and holding discussions with FC Barcelona, but it will take a little more time before we can provide further updates. We deeply apologize for making everyone wait for so long and for causing any concern. We will inform you of the future updates as soon as the decisions are made through the club's official website and other channels, so we kindly ask for your patience in the meantime. We could maybe see this game being delayed a day. The problem is if you delay this a day, then it's going to be shorter to go to South Korea and stuff like that. So I'm not quite too sure what's going to happen. All I know for sure is at some point today, the club will fly out to the tour. Joan will be going. I'm told that Rafael Uste will not be going because he's still in deep negotiations, unfortunately, with Al Nassr. Deco isn't going either to stay at Barcelona to handle the ins and outs, which I think is a good thing. So only Joan Laporta will be the board representative there. Maybe Echeverri or Soler will go with him. I assume that one of him as his right-hand man will be there, but the top three guys, two of them are staying in Barcelona. So we'll see how things do pan out. Again, as of right now, as of recording, everything's on the table to go ahead to Japan. But after this statement, you can never know how things do turn out. But again, they're supposed to pay Barcelona. They didn't. Rakuten jumped in, paid what needed to be paid so they can get Barcelona over. The club saying, yep, we got our money, thank you, we're on our way. And now we're just waiting for logistics and stuff like that. So we'll see how things do turn out. But as of right now, the game on Sunday against Vissel Kobe is on, but not guaranteed. So that was my reaction to the Barcelona news over the past few days. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, of course, make sure you drop a like down below, and of course in the comments down below as well. Let me know your thoughts on everything we did discuss. The main thing on our first of course is your thoughts on the signing of Marcus Rashford. Are you in favor for it or not? Secondly, on the renewals of Koundé and De Jong, are you happy about those two renewals? Would you do them during this transfer window or wait till the summer transfer window is over? Thirdly, your thoughts on the sale of Pau Víctor. Fourthly and finally, your thoughts on the future of Ter Stegen and his current play about his injury issue and how he announced the timeline, stuff like that, to throw Barcelona off and to put us in a difficult situation. Leave me all your thoughts down in the comments down below, and of course do not forget to subscribe down below if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys next time on the channel. Take care and Forza Barca.
Yeah.